Hey there, it's Kobe, also known as Candid Co here on YouTube. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, hi, welcome to my channel where I talk about all things education and lifestyle. So go ahead and check out my other videos and feel free to subscribe at your earliest convenience. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my best advice for high school juniors. I have 11 tips, I think, for you guys to help you have a great junior year. Yeah, junior year is probably going to be your most stressful year of high school. Try not to worry so much about junior year, but it is pretty important for college. So I'm just going to tell you some things that helped me do really well my junior year. But first, I do have a blog post about this topic. It'll be the first link in the description box down below if you want to check that out, if you want to look back on it for later, just to see kind of what I talked about. Go ahead, and yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go. My first tip is to take the ACT or SAT in the spring. For me, I would honestly say try to take it before spring break because you need to have time to kind of see where you're at and have time to prepare and study and practice and do well for when you take it the next time. But some people think they can take it the summer before senior year, which is just a little bit too late. You're cutting it kind of close. If that's the first time you're taking it, you're cutting it close because you want to have time to better improve your scores, and that takes at least 1 or 2 months. So you want to kind of take the test early on, not too early before you learned anything, but early enough to be able to have time to practice and better your score. While you're at it, take the SAT/ACT essay. A lot of schools require the essay portion, so just take it, and if none of your schools need it, at least you know you had it just in case. The SAT essay is a rhetorical analysis. For these types of essays, it's a good idea to go into the essay room with 3 to 4 rhetorical devices that you know well and that you can apply to a good essay. So mine were diction, syntax, repetition, and pathos. Those are probably the easiest ones to find, and they're pretty much in everything. If one of these 4 isn't in there, then I would have figured something else out, but definitely have 3 or 4 devices that you know really well. Okay, when you're doing a rhetorical analysis essay, this is just really quick. Don't try to be different or try to do the most. Like, pick the obvious things. If there's obvious repetition, write about repetition. If there's obvious syntax usage, write about that. Don't try to be different. Don't try to think outside the box because that might not carry over well into the grading. And for the ACT essay, honestly, it's really weird. So, and I didn't do well on it, honestly. So I would look that up, practice that, and know what you're walking into because it was not what I expected at all. Take stats and pre-cal if you can. So the ACT has some pre-cal aspects to it. Like, there are some questions that are straight pre-cal questions, and if you haven't taken pre-cal, you wouldn't know how to answer them. And the SAT has some stats questions in there. If you don't really care about missing a few questions, then you don't have to take them. And I know for pre-cal, you have to take follow a certain order of classes. So if you're currently in algebra now, you can't also take pre-cal. So I know pre-cal might not be an option for some people, but take stats. That helps with the SAT a lot, and it helps with the PSAT as well. So try to take these 2 classes because they will help you with the math portions of both of the tests. SAT and ACT prep isn't always necessary. I would say take both tests first and see which one you do better on without any prep. Mine was ACT. I did way better on the ACT, but I still retook both of the tests. But if you do really well, you don't have to pay for prep. Just buy a practice book and buy a SAT or ACT prep book, and that's all you need. I feel like prep is more for people who need a lot of help. So if you take it first time and you don't do well, then you need to if you can, go to a prep academy or a prep school. There are a lot of online resources as well. The tests are both easily finessable. You have to kind of learn how they want you to answer the questions, and then you can answer any question they give you. But the best thing to prep for both the tests is to take as many practice tests as you can, so you get used to the kinds of questions they're asking you, and you get used to how they want you to answer them. The next thing is improve your extracurriculars. By this, I mean if you're not in any clubs or organizations, join some. If you are in any of those organizations or clubs, try to get a leadership position or try to win an award or a certificate or something like that, because on the Common App, at least, they ask you about your clubs or extracurriculars. They ask what you did in them, what you've achieved. There's also a spot for certificates and achievements, anything like that. If you've gotten any kind of national recognition for anything, there's a spot for you to put all those in there. So you want to make your activity section and your achievement section as filled up as possible and show that you really did a lot of stuff in high school. So if you don't already have a lot of these things, you need to start getting them on your resume. The next one is so important. Y'all, befriend your teachers. Three teachers. So if you don't already have a good connection with 3 teachers, you need to do that this year. Because for your college applications, you have to have, usually it's 2 teacher recommendations. Usually they prefer it from the core classes. So they don't want art or band or coaches to recommend you. Most of the schools want 2 core subject recommendations, preferably from your sophomore or junior year, so the teachers are more familiar with how you are as a student now versus your freshman year, because that was a long time ago. And you want the teachers to give you a good essay, so make sure you kind of at least are friends with them and they like you, because if they don't like you, then they're not gonna write a very convincing essay. Also, a lot of the good teachers that everyone likes will get a lot of requests, and eventually they're gonna stop saying yes. So make sure your senior year, you ask your teachers for the recommendation as early as possible and give them a deadline. Give them a deadline. Give them at least a month to write it, but ask them in September, make a deadline end of September and be like, please, I need it by this date, because they are very wishy-washy, and if you don't set a deadline, they will forget. So befriend 3 teachers so that you can have really strong recommendations. Keep your grades up. This is the last set of grades that colleges are going to see on your transcript. So you want your grades to be as high as possible. You want to show that even if you did really poorly freshman year, you've been improving yourself over the years. Or you want to show that you started off really well freshman year and you're staying really well now. And so you're just a consistent student. You want to show them that you are strong in your academics, so keep your grades up. And also take as many APs as possible. Again, this is the last set of grades colleges are going to see, so they want to see you taking AP classes if your school offers them, or pre-AP your honors classes if your school offers them. Taking a lot of APs can be stressful because they are harder classes, but you can have fun your senior year. That's what I did. I worked freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and then senior year I was chilling because I already established a good GPA. I've already established a good work ethic, so I can get my work done in barely any time and have time to hang out with my friends and stuff like that. So take your APs junior year and then chill senior year. Pay attention in class. This is even more important if you're taking AP classes that you plan to take the AP exams for. AP exams cover content from the whole year. And by the time May comes around, you're gonna forget things that you learned in September. So you wanna learn everything you can now so that when the AP exam comes, you don't have to study as much. You can just kind of review and you're not relearning, because relearning sucks, reviewing is easy. Same thing with just your regular classes. If you're paying attention in class and you're taking good notes, asking good questions, then when the test comes, you're not really studying for 10 hours, you're studying for 2. Or you're studying for 1, or you're just reviewing information that you already know. So do your homework, pay attention in class, so you have to study less later on. And start saving money now. Oh. Senior year, I didn't realize how expensive the world is. Homecoming, expensive. Senior events, expensive. If your school has a senior trip, expensive. Prom, expensive. Graduation, expensive. Everything, expensive. College is even more expensive. So you want to save your money now, junior year, now that you have no responsibilities. Don't spend your money uselessly. Try to save your money up now so that you're not skimping your senior year.
The amount of stuff I bought uselessly my junior year is unacceptable.
And start thinking about colleges. Do you want to go out of state or do you want to stay in state? You want it to be public or private? Large or small? 4-year or 2-year? What do you want? What are you looking for? Think about that now so that when it comes time, because the summer after your junior year is when you're gonna have to start thinking about colleges and thinking about what schools you're gonna put on your Common App. And that can be it's a big decision, kind of. It's not a big deal, but it's a big decision. So you wanna make a good decision and know what you're looking for so you can narrow down the search later on. Also, if you're planning on going out of state, it's better to take AP classes than dual credit, because most of the time dual credit doesn't transfer outside of your state. So I took only AP classes, mostly for the GPA boost, but also because I knew I wanted to go out of state. So if you're gonna go out of state, most of the time they don't accept dual credit. So take AP exams and try to get as much credit as possible that way. And that is it. Those are all the tips that I have for all my juniors out there. I hope you have a great year, stress-free. Hope you're chilling. Comment down below what colleges you're thinking about. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.